Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to give you a super quick top 3 websites you're going to need if you are planning to travel in 2021. Now, these are not booking websites. These are not where to find the cheapest airfare or anything like that. These are actually the vital websites you need to know what the requirements are and what countries you're allowed to visit. So let me go ahead and dive in and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so all of the websites that I'm going to share with you today are websites that are going to help you understand what the requirements are to travel anywhere, let's say, out of the contiguous states. So including Hawaii, Alaska, anywhere foreign, international, overseas, all of those places. There are 3 websites that will help you to gather the right information that you need, because a lot of people have been having questions lately about if they've been vaccinated, if they are allowed to travel, if certain countries are allowing people in if they've had their vaccine versus testing. There's a lot of questions, and every single day it changes. So as many times as I can make videos about this, tomorrow it'll probably change. So I thought it would be best if I shared with you some of the websites that give you the most up-to-date information. That way, as you're planning your vacation this year, you can check those sites all throughout. And I recommend, if you're planning, say today, right now I'm in April 2021, if you're planning something for the holidays for Christmas Day, I would also check the whole time. If you book it now, I would still check it in a couple months and a couple months and a couple. So you're always up to date, including checking it right before you go. So you're always up to date on the most current information, and you don't get stuck getting there and all of a sudden something's changed and you don't have what you need. So let's go ahead and dive in and let me show you what websites I am talking about. All right, the first one I want to talk about, and all of these I'm going to go ahead and link below, is called travelbans.org. And this is the site here, and it specifies whether or not it is open for current citizens, if it's open for any foreigners visiting, tourism, things of that nature. So like, for instance, here, Venezuela, current Venezuelan citizens. When it says citizens, it means that of that country, not US citizens of that country. It's open for tourism, no, and then what the quarantine issue is and whether it's open to foreigners. So this is sorted by all countries, so you can scroll through if you just want to kind of get an idea of who's open, who's not, where you might be able to go. If you have an idea of more specifically a particular continent that you would like to visit, say for instance Europe, you can go ahead and sort it over here and scroll through and take a look at, say, France, because I know France has talked about opening soon. But right now, for instance, it is only partially open to their own citizens. It's only partially open to tourism, and has partial quarantine. And then you can search through here to get all of the details about this location. And as you can see, you can sort it by all of the world: Asia, Europe, North and South America, Africa. I mean, everywhere that you can want to go, you'll be able to take a look and see which countries you're interested in visiting and what those restrictions might be. Website number 2 is Kayak. They actually have, let me move again. Kayak actually has a travel restrictions by country map as well, which you can use to cross-reference. Now, a lot of these websites say that they update the information daily, but I would still cross-reference multiple of them just to be doubly sure that you're getting the right information. But the way Kayaks works is they actually have this map here. They have the color coding for whether there's restrictions partially and so on. And I believe you can click the different areas to see more information. Like I just clicked Mexico and it goes down to the information on Mexico. If I wanted to come over here and say, if we stick with the France theme, let's say France, it'll give me the entry restrictions, requirements, and things for France. So this is another really handy website if you would like to go ahead and cross-reference that and help to make those decisions about where you would like to go. All right, and the final one is AITA. Now, AITA is they're the ones that help to create laws or lobby for laws and to help organize the travel industry. All of the people, the airlines, the cruise lines, the hotels, the travel agents, all of those people, tourism, everybody. And so they also have kind of a similar map to what Kayak has, whereby you can look to see what the restrictions are by the map. So if you click on France, you will see a little pop-up here, which will give you the latest information. This one is as of April 19th. Here's one until April 24th, and you can scroll through and see the information that they have based on where it is that you'd like to go. The other thing I want to show you, let me move back. The other thing I want to show you is this passport, visa, and health. Now, what you could do is go through here and add where you want to go. Just keep using France. And then what you would do is add all of the information about what you're wanting to do, where you want to visit, when you want to visit, if you're going to go to any other countries, which, by the way, 2021, I would keep your vacations to one country per vacation. This year is probably not the best year to take a tour of all of Europe. I would just stick, say you want to see France and Italy, I would do France on one separate trip and then Italy on a totally separate trip. Because when you're going to one country and then to the other, you're complicating the whole COVID issue, and each country might have their own regulations based on where you're coming from and how long you've been in those places. It's just going to be, I think, a nightmare for now until they get everything settled and smoothed out and more regulated. So right now, I highly recommend just going to one country per vacation. So you would add that information, you would add that information in here. When you go to the next page, it's going to ask you for personal information, including your whether you have a passport or a visa or what type of passport you have, the information as far as when it expires, things like that. And then at the end, the results is going to tell you exactly what you need. If you need a visa, if you need a different kind of a passport, what the health restrictions are, things of that nature. So this is a very, very valuable website as well as you're planning particularly international travel. So those are the top 3 websites that are going to be vital for you to use if you are planning any type of vacation internationally or overseas, including Hawaii and Alaska in 2021. Check all 3 of those websites just to cross-reference and make sure you know the most up-to-date information about where you'd like to go so that you have all of your I's dotted and all of your T's crossed and don't have any trouble when you get to your final destination. Stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to go ahead and cover some of the countries that are allowing vaccinated individuals in as we're coming up on potentially having vaccination, maybe apps or passports or some kind of tracking system. There are more and more countries that are going to start to allow vaccinated individuals in. However, that being said, if you choose not to get a vaccine, most countries, hopefully, but I've seen a lot of them that are still honoring your choice to decide whether or not you want a vaccine. But in those countries, you will need to test and you might likely have a quarantine and then perhaps a second or a third test, depending on where you're going. So even if you're not vaccinated, there are still options, and those 3 websites can still help you to decide where you want to go. If you are vaccinated, they also still might want you to test, but usually once you know that you're negative going in, then they usually give you a little bit more free access and no quarantine. So use those websites to know for sure. My next video, I'm going to go ahead and cover what countries are allowing vaccinated individuals in and or hopefully if they allow non-vaccinated in and what kind of testing. I'm also going to cover cruise lines. Cruise lines are opening back up, but they are mandating vaccinated individuals be allowed to cruise. I don't believe they're allowing just a test only. I think you have to be vaccinated in order to cruise. But if you are vaccinated or plan to get vaccinated, then that might be another vacation option for you this year. So I'll cover that in an upcoming video. And other than that, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about travel, go ahead and take a look at these videos here. And I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.